What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes that you guys should be completely avoiding for 2023. Because if you guys don't, you're going to be getting chargebacks, refunds, you can get your ad account shut down, and you can actually go negative in your bank account. And I promise you guys, if you don't pay attention to these, 2023 is not going to be a good year for you for dropshipping. So without any further ado, if you guys like videos like these, be sure to subscribe down below and let's get right into the video. So the very first mistake that all of us have made is just ripping content every single time that we test a product. And if you guys didn't know, these platforms, especially TikTok and Facebook, know that you're doing this. And the way that they do this, they track different metadata and stuff like that. So they know when you're just taking videos from their platform, downloading them, and then just reusing them to run ads. And the big problem with this, not only does Facebook and TikTok and other platforms know this, it's also that everyone is trying to use the exact same videos, right? Like they go on TikTok or on Facebook, they find the most viewed video or the one that has the most engagement with it, and then they just rip it and then they use that to run paid ads. There's so many other dropshippers that do the exact same thing and wonder why they don't make any sales. Because one big thing with dropshipping is if you don't differentiate yourself with whether it's your offer, your product, your Shopify store, there's really no reason for a customer to buy your product over another competitor's. So that's why it's very important for you guys to stand out with your own videos or even your own offers. And I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how to do that. And I'm gonna go over a paid and free method that you guys can do to overcome this. So starting out with a paid method, one thing that you can do is go on Amazon, find the product for yourself. Let's say you're trying to sell a automatic hair curler, right? You can go on Amazon, buy that product, get it within a couple of days, and then as long as you have a decent phone, like I have this phone right here. This is a iPhone X. It has a 4K camera. I got it refurbished off of eBay for a couple $100, and it has 256 gigabytes. So I use that phone to create all my different product videos, whether that's uploading to TikTok or just creating video ads that I can run with paid ads. When you create your own custom content, you stand out so much. And these platforms, especially on TikTok, will push out. They love to push out new accounts, new videos all the time. And that's exactly why you'll see on organic accounts, sometimes people's first video will get like millions of views. It's not just them ripping other people's videos, it's their own custom video. And on top of this too, if you create your own content, it's going to be a lot more higher quality compared to all the other ripped videos that your competitors will be using. And also when other dropshippers start to see your ads and they just try to rip other people's content or even your content, you're already going to have that upper hand because you're going to look like a legitimate brand and you're already going to have all that pixel data. So it's going to be extremely hard for them to hop onto your product, and you can make it a lot more sustainable and long term instead of it just being, a one-hit wonder product that will sell for a couple of weeks or like a month and then die out. And another thing about ripping content is that if a competitor sees their videos that you are running, they can report your ad, and this can actually get your ad accounts disabled and get you banned. And trust me, that's happened to me before. You don't want to have to go through that. I've had to pay people multiple thousands of dollars before even to continue using their ads just because they're performing so well at the time, but you definitely don't want to have to do that. So make sure that you guys try your best to create your own videos. And then also secondly, for the completely free route. Now, if you guys are going to be using other people's content, make sure that you cut up the videos, that you use tools like InShot, and you just don't copy and paste video ads that you find online for your own ads. And really the best way to go about this is changing up the scroll stopper or the first 3 seconds of the video. That way the ad platforms that you're using look at it as a different ad from the one that you downloaded. And then coming in at number 2 is a terrible store. It's crazy to me how many people have terrible websites or don't put any work into their store whatsoever and wonder why they don't get sales. You guys have to understand that customers are more skeptical now than they have ever been. People have made major complaints to Shopify, Better Business Bureau about their orders not getting fulfilled. I'm sure you guys have seen the infamous Facebook comments about people saying they haven't received their products. So it's very important that you have a presentable product page in store. And then also you guys need to have some sort of social proof on your website. Now, when I say social proof, it doesn't mean that you have to have like thousands of followers on Instagram, Facebook, every other social media platform. But what I mean is the reviews on your product page. Instead of just importing a whole bunch of reviews from AliExpress that have a bunch of like spelling errors and stuff like that, I do recommend that you have images in the top like 5 to 10 different reviews that show up on your product page. It doesn't really matter, on the next pages after that, but you want to make sure that each review is done correctly and it has some sort of story of how the product changed their life, or it looks like it has some work put into it, right? It's not just something like, oh yeah, hey, this is good, or got mine today. It needs to be very convincing And if you can upload any type of video or image, that's going to help you out a lot, especially like before and after picture. And you guys need to be putting some work in these product pages, right? Don't just import the product from AliExpress and then just leave it like that. There's so many people that will just import these terrible pictures, terrible bullet points, talking about the specifications of the product that the customer doesn't even care about. But the best way that I like to structure my product pages is talking about the benefits of the product, having a couple bullet points there, and then also how it works, how the product functions, and then also who the product is for, the ideal customer, stuff like that. And then under each and every one of those, like I said, have a couple bullet points. You don't need to have like 5 different sentences or a paragraph under, like no customer is reading that, especially nowadays. People have a very short attention span, so they're not going to be reading through your entire product page. You want to make things short, sweet, to the point, because customers are there to do one thing, and that's buy your product. Now, things like your homepage and then other pages on your website aren't too important, but you do still want to put some work into those and make them presentable. That way, if the customer does decide to explore your site, they're not going to be thrown off by, blank pages or, images that are supposed to be filled in. So if you guys want to create really nice photos and images, different backgrounds, infographics, I highly recommend that you guys use Canva. Like, you don't need any type of Photoshop skills to set up your Shopify store. It's very easy and simple to do. You just have to use a easy tool. I literally use Canva for everything, even my logo creation. You guys don't need to be paying anybody a cent for that type of thing. And don't be afraid to use images online, as long as they're not branded and they don't have they don't have logos on them or anything like that. You can edit them, just put them on your site, and it'll be perfect for you to test the product. So coming in at number 3, we have using AliExpress. So I talk about this all the time, and this is by far one of the biggest mistakes, because there's so many different alternatives out there that you guys can be using completely free that have a lot better shipping, a lot better order tracking, have a personal agent that helps you out with any types of questions that you have. And you guys have to understand, customers nowadays, if they have to wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks plus for a product to arrive, they are simply just going to contact you and be like, hey, I need a refund for this. Obviously, it hasn't been shipped out yet. Even AliExpress has terrible tracking for orders as well, so I don't recommend using them. Now, in some cases, I do find AliExpress listings that have decent shipping times, but for the majority of cases, it's going to be around a month to 2 months. And when this happens, customers are going to be asking for refunds and chargebacks, which are going to reflect negatively on your Shopify account. So the best alternatives that I do recommend, I did create a video on this. It was yesterday's video. This way you guys can get 7 to 15 day shipping times with good tracking using major carriers, and you can treat this like legitimate business, which it is. And then coming in at number 4, we have not charging enough for your products. Now, this is a very big one that I see a lot of people doing, and it's mainly because you guys don't really understand exactly where the money is going. Especially after you get an order. Ad costs are only going up, especially like within the past couple of years. We've seen Facebook. You can only really profit on Facebook if you're charging at least like $40 to $50 plus for your products, just because ad costs are so high. Then on top of this, you have to think about, the cost of goods, transaction fees. There's so many different fees that you probably didn't even consider. They're like PayPal fees are high. And you have to understand something. Your goal should be shooting for at least 15 to 25% profit at least. And this is, like, when you start scaling up, your profit margins are going to get lower, but the volume of sales is going to get higher. So the best thing that you guys can do in the beginning is to maximize on your profit as much as possible. Use bundle apps, use post-purchase upsells, anything that can increase your average order value so you can get a better understanding of how much you can charge for your products and how much you can profit. And the baseline for all the products that I test is charging at least 2.5 to 3x of the cost of goods, right? So whatever that you can find the product for, let's say you go on AliExpress, you can get a product for $10. You need to charge at least $25 to $30 for that product. And this is mainly when you're running paid ads. Now, if you're just running organic traffic where you just have to worry about the product cost, then you can charge around 2x the cost of goods. That's not a big deal at all, because you're always going to be profitable as long as you're charging more than what you're getting the product for. And most people just underestimate how much they're going to be spending on ads, which is why they have such low profit margins. And then coming in at number 5, you guys, is customer service and order tracking. Now, this by far has to be one of the biggest ones, and it's mainly because if you guys don't get this right, this will either make or break your dropshipping store. I see a lot of dropshippers that don't even respond to customer emails. And when you do this, customers are going to think that you're just trying to scam them, and they will go out of their way to report your store to Shopify. And this can cause a ton of different chargebacks. Take it from me, you guys. I wasn't the best at doing this, especially in my first days of doing dropshipping, and I paid for it at the end. I got a ton of refunds and I lost a handful of money. Because just imagine if you're trying to scale up a product and you don't even focus on the back end like this, you're going to run into a lot of big problems later down the road. And certain payment processor platforms will hold your money as well, like PayPal. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what you can do to avoid this. this and how you can also have order tracking on your website. So my most favorite app to use for sending out automated emails is Klaviyo. You can set up different automated flows that will send out customer confirmation emails, also update emails. You can send them discount codes, and this will be automated every single time a customer places an order on your site. And you can set up different delays on what specific days you want to send out the email. Usually what I like to do is set up a order confirmation every single time a customer orders, and then a day after that, send them like a personal message like, hey, this is the owner of insert brand here, and I'd like to provide you with a discount code. So that way you can make it a little bit more personal and they can trust you a lot more. Then after that, what I like to do is send them a order tracking email that will allow them to go on your website, enter in their order number, and it'll tell them exactly where their package is, if it's been processed, sent out. And this also leads into why it's very important to be using AliExpress alternatives, where suppliers will upload tracking links to the customer orders so they can see exactly where their package is. And this will actually sync up with the order tracking app that you use. Like I like to use Omega order tracking on my site because they can just click over to order tracking, enter in their different emails or their order number, and they can see everything on that page. But both these apps are completely free to use as well. But if you want to have a custom email box to where customers, you can go back and forth between customers, if they send you a message, you can send one directly back. I do recommend just creating a Gmail or something like that. You don't have to get a custom domain one. I have a support at, whatever my brand name is, .com domain link for my email. But if you're just starting out and testing a product, you can have a Gmail on your website that customers can contact you. And I always recommend getting back within 1 to 2 business days, because anything longer than that, they're going to get skeptical and potentially report your store. And another thing too, this is another reason why it's important to be using tracking, is PayPal. Certain processors, if you don't upload tracking to the processor, they will start holding your money. And PayPal is huge on this. So you want to make sure that you use an app like Uptrack, where it'll take that tracking link that the supplier uploads to the customer order and then put it on PayPal. So PayPal knows, okay, he's actually delivering these orders, they're getting sent out, and he's just not trying to scam people. But yeah, having proper customer service and order tracking is absolutely essential, you guys. This can either destroy your business, destroy your store completely, or actually turn your store into a really thriving brand just because of how much people trust your store and want to come back and purchase your product again. So make sure you guys are sending out those order confirmation emails, those order update emails every 5 to 7 days. And then I promise your customer will be happy to know that their package is already being delivered to them. So other than that, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. I upload videos every single week, and I also upload YouTube Shorts tutorials every single day, so you guys can watch those as well. So be sure to subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.